what is it, 7 minutes, 11:07 Eastern time, I think it goes.
Yeah, it went over a little bit more than that last night.
Yeah, you're right. So that's what we got for Raw. 3.4 and 3.8 for a 3.6 final rating. Not bad. Not good, but not terrible, going into WrestleMania. I mean, if it had dropped again, we may have had some problems. You know what I mean? I mean, you don't want to get, especially with WrestleMania around, you don't want to be below that 3.5, 3.4. You know what I mean? You want to.
It definitely would cause some sort of concern. And again, you got to look at it as a trend in the last few weeks. It's been declining. It's just, coming off a pay-per-view with the Royal Rumble, or not the Royal Rumble, but
No Way Out.
No Mercy, or No Way Out, I'm sorry, thank you. With No Way Out, so the show was, great, Edge coming off as champion, losing and then winning. So that came about, Monday, everyone wanted to see it, and then it just kind of, you had the arrest angle that went on TV, and it kind of went downhill from there.
Yeah. Hey, what do you know about Taz, man? Let's get into this Taz story that broke earlier today. Run it down, man, and then I'll give my input. You give your input.
Well, it's interesting. According today, of course, I know you sent me out an email earlier. Taz has officially left World Wrestling Entertainment. His last day for work, it's called his last match with Jim Ross, was yesterday during the SmackDown tapings. According to some published reports, they've claimed that Taz actually gave notice a few weeks back, and he still has a contract, or I'm not sure if he has it anymore, but he was still under contract with WWE, and both decided to go ahead and part ways. And the timing is extremely, extremely interesting. Consider the fact that we're 5 days from the WrestleMania, and then on top of that is just, what's going to happen next. Who's going to sit in the chair and taking over Taz?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't. It's interesting because Jim Ross, who's a blogging machine, you know what I mean, hasn't written anything about it yet, and it'll be interesting to see if he sheds any light on the situation. But basically, what I heard is he just wanted to take some time off. He left on pretty good terms. A return can't be ruled out. Just basically wanted to go away, recharge his batteries for a little bit. Maybe that was just an excuse, to say, hey, I want out. Keep in mind that Mick Foley is the guy. I mean, the guys that are behind that announce booth take a lot of crap from Vince McMahon. I mean, I know that sometimes JMK he'll hate me saying this, but sometimes he sends me messages during the show, and I can't concentrate when I try to read a message and have to talk at the same time. So I can only imagine when Vince is in these guys' headset, you know what I mean, just screaming in their ear, and then if they say something bad or something wrong or something that Vince doesn't want them to say, or if they mess up, I mean, these guys get screamed at, you know what I mean? And Foley had enough and said, hey, you know what, I'm done, I'm out of here, and maybe that's the case with Taz. I mean, maybe he was just fed up of the constant yelling, screaming. Jim Ross is another guy. I mean, you would think Jim Ross's tenure with the company, been there a long time. He's been vocal about that in even his own blog posts, that he's always getting screamed at through the headset. So maybe it was just a case of that. But nonetheless, it is on pretty good terms, and just basically wanted to go and recharge his batteries, or that was his side of the story. And I guess the talk now is who goes over to SmackDown to go alongside Jim Ross.
It's interesting because, Matt Striker would be the first person to come to my mind. And to say, it's honestly, you think about it, it's almost like a dream come true when it comes to, if you're really kind of into the people that are calling the shots, because now you have a well-educated individual like Jim Ross that brings out history, that brings out the technical side of the announcing, and then you have another individual that brings out the technical side, but he's like a historian. Granted, Matt Striker is a former history teacher, so he has that experience of researching and analyzing and then explaining it to us in a way that you just sit there and say, wow, I didn't even think about that.
Dude, his old school references are awesome, dude. Every time he brings those up, it adds so much to the announcing, you know what I mean? But I don't know about Stryker, man. I don't know. I mean, we've got the draft coming up, right? I would say JBL. JBL's a guy that was had plans, came back, had back problems, came back, felt okay, and then just recent reports came out. I think it was Dave Meltzer's Wrestling Observer newsletter where he said that JBL had planned to, retire within the next year again. So if that were the case, he could do the match at WrestleMania, and that could be his goodbye, or not goodbye, but his way of, doing the match. Well, he's IC champion now, too, you know what I mean? So,
that's what I'm saying. I mean, I don't think, unless there is plans for him to depart, I don't see him losing at WrestleMania. I mean, it's interesting.
It's Rey Mysterio, though, and Rey got the pin last night, though. That was weird. Wasn't that weird?
Exactly.
Has that ever been done before? Have they ever plugged a match for WrestleMania, right? Built up a match for WrestleMania, and then done the WrestleMania match, the Raw, the week before WrestleMania? And then
it was strange, because it's just like, all right, you're really just technically telling us whoever wins here is not going to win at WrestleMania.
Is not going to win at WrestleMania, which means JBL goes over because Ray got the shock win, if you will, last night.
Kane won the Battle Royal. Kane is not going to win the Kane's not going to go and win Money in the Bank ladder. You know what I mean? I mean, that's the way they set it up. So if history proves itself, well, maybe not, because I mean, yesterday was Taz's last day, so they do need some. And keep in mind, we've got the draft coming up. And remember last year, we had Jim Ross. They actually didn't tell the announcers last year, and Jim Ross kind of caught by surprise. He was pretty pissed off, man. Remember the blog post that he wrote last time? He was pissed. Yeah, too, is Jim Ross has been there for so long that he's comfortable enough to shoot from the hip. That's always been a Jim Ross motto. Ever since the NWA days. He
regrets it now. He just wrote a blog post, actually just a couple weeks ago, where he says, last year when I came out, I overreacted, didn't think I was going to like it, and it actually worked out for the better. You know what I mean? So, maybe it's, I don't know. Well, Matt Stryker, I think they keep Stryker and Todd Grisham together on ECW. I think Jerry Lawler and Cole, maybe Cole goes back to SmackDown, but then who goes to Raw? There you go, Stryker and Lawler would be all right.
We need a color man. We either need Jim Ross.
You're right.
We're not going to see Grisham on Raw. He's too
No.
He's perfect. I just see right now, at the moment, obviously WWE has, had a notice from Taz, so it's not that they need to scramble and say, oh, man, this is a last-minute thing. Obviously, they've had some time to think about who is going to be taken over, and it just wouldn't surprise me at this moment we would see the person as the Matt Stryker working double duty on ECW and on SmackDown.
I'm available.
Well, hey, you can send in a tape.
Yeah, right. I'd have no, thank you, man. No, thank you. Not with not with the constant
enough money in the world, and I think I can handle it pretty well. But I still wouldn't do it.
Oh, dude, I couldn't do it. Even if they gave me an incredible amount of money with Vince McMahon or somebody else screaming in the ear of Ryan Clark, I don't know that it would go over that. I don't know how much of it I could take, you know what I mean? I don't know that I'd be able to do that. So, thanks, but no thanks, all right? That's my, they haven't offered me, but nonetheless, thanks, but no thanks if they did offer.
And, of course, you'll say something wrong. You'll be like, shut up.
Oh, man, tell me about it, all right? All right, so that's Taz. That's basically the Taz story, or what we know of it so far. It just broke this morning on the websites. We have all the news up on the websites. What we know so far, basically everything that we've talked about here tonight is on the website. But we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. Be interesting to see if I'm sure Taz has got the 90-day no compete. Be interesting to see because there are other options out there. And I wasn't going to bring this up here, right? But some of the I know you don't follow TNA Impact, but a couple weeks ago there was an angle where Don West stood up, and part of that, from what I'm told, was part shoot, part angle. Some of the things that he said, and part of the shoot comments were that there were some meetings that were held within TNA and that Mike Tenay didn't defend him, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, this and that. And
well, he sucks.
I don't know. Huh?
He sucks. I hate him as an announcer.
Don West, though, man. It's Don West. It's corny Don
West. Who cares?
Corny Don. I'll tell you who sucked, man. They had Booker T on the announce booth a couple weeks ago. That was brutal, dude. I thought they were only going to do it for about, I don't know, a half hour, maybe half a show. And he went on and on and on and on. It was Booker T